In the entire recorded history of popular music, only two men were ever crowned king. One rose from the dirt roads of Tupelo, Mississippi, and shook the foundations of an entire civilization with nothing but his voice and his hips. The other arrived from Gary, Indiana, a boy who barely reached the microphone and grew to become the most recognized human being on the planet. Their music, their movements, their faces, burned into the memory of every generation that followed. Inescapable, undeniable, eternal. But here is what the history books will never fully tell you. These two kings were bound by something far deeper than talent. Bound by a secret marriage that stunned the world. Bound by the same gilded cage of isolation that slowly consumed them both. And bound tragically by the same dark ending. Today, we open the vault. We examine every chapter from humble origins to global domination, from a controversial union of dynasties to a haunting parallel collapse. This is the full, unguarded story of two kings who defined the world, and were ultimately undone by it. I am Frank, your host, and you are watching The Legend Vault. If you want to witness our newest deep dive episodes and unlock the secrets of history, step into the vault right now. Hit that subscribe button and claim your key to the vault. Let's dive in. It is the summer of 1954. America is still deeply segregated. The radio is dominated by crooners in suits polished, orderly, and safe. And into this world walks an 18-year-old truck driver from Memphis, Tennessee, with a voice that doesn't belong to any one category. His name is Elvis Aaron Presley. And on July 5, 1954, inside the modest walls of Sun Records on Union Avenue, something impossible happens. Elvis records a rhythm and blues song called That's All Right, and in that single evening, rock and roll is born. What made Elvis as revolutionary wasn't just his voice, though that voice could shatter glass and melt hearts in the same breath. It was what he represented, the collision of black musical tradition with white mainstream America. He took the rawness of gospel, the swing of rhythm and blues, and the energy of country, and fused them into something the world had never heard. He didn't just cross cultural lines. He erased them. By 1956, Elvis Presley was the most dangerous man in American living rooms. His hips were censored on national television. His concerts were called immoral exhibitions. And yet every record he released turned to gold. Now, fast forward 3 decades. The year is 1983. Motown Records is celebrating its 25th anniversary with a televised special. A 24-year-old Michael Jackson steps onto a stage in Pasadena, California. And in the next 4 minutes, he changes everything again. The moonwalk. A single move, a glide so fluid it defied the laws of physics, witnessed live by 47 million Americans. Fred Astaire himself called Michael Jackson that evening to say he was a hell of a mover. But like Elvis, Michael Jackson was never just about the performance. He was about transformation. In the early 1980s, with Thriller the best-selling album in recorded history, Michael shattered racial barriers on MTV, which had previously resisted airing videos by black artists. He didn't ask for a seat at the table. He built a new table entirely. 2 men. 2 different decades. Both from impoverished backgrounds. Both carrying the enormous weight of racial and cultural expectation. Both ascending, like comets, to a height no human being had ever reached in the world of entertainment. And both, in doing so, forever altering what it means to be an artist. The word icon is used carelessly today. We call anyone famous an icon. But Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson didn't just achieve fame. They achieved something rarer. They each reshaped the cultural DNA of the human species. Elvis sold over 1 billion records worldwide. He starred in 33 feature films. He performed 1,057 concerts in Las Vegas alone between 1969 and 1977. He turned a desert city built for gamblers into the entertainment capital of the world. And he did all of this before the internet, before streaming, before social media. He built an empire with nothing but his voice, his face, and his instinct. Michael Jackson's commercial achievements are equally staggering. Thriller has sold an estimated 70 million copies. The music video for Thriller, directed by John Landis in 1983, is regularly cited as the greatest music video ever made, transforming the art form from a promotional tool into a cinematic experience. The Bad World Tour of 1987 to 1989 grossed over $125 million. He won 13 Grammy Awards, including a record-breaking 8 in a single night in 1984. Both men didn't just sell music. They sold a feeling. A sense of possibility. A vision of a world where a poor kid from Mississippi or a middle child from Gary could become the most celebrated human being alive. They were proof, irrefutable, undeniable proof that greatness has no zip code. Now we reach the chapter that no one fully understands. The one that stopped the world. May 26, 1994. In a private ceremony in La Vega, Dominican Republic, Michael Jackson marries Lisa Marie Presley, the only child of Elvis Presley, who had died in 1977 when Lisa Marie was just 9 years old. Let that land for a moment. The king of pop married to the daughter of the king of rock and roll. Two dynasties, separated by a generation, suddenly joined by a wedding ring. The world's reaction was split. Some called it a fairy tale, the ultimate merging of two musical bloodlines, a love story written in the stars. Others were deeply skeptical. Tabloids immediately questioned the authenticity of the marriage, suggesting it was orchestrated to improve Michael Jackson's public image amid the first of the child abuse allegations that had surfaced in 1993. The truth, as always, lives in the space between the headlines. Lisa Marie Presley has spoken openly about this relationship in numerous interviews over the years. She has stated clearly, on multiple occasions, that she was genuinely in love with Michael Jackson. That she believed she could save him. That she saw beneath the spectacle, the surgery, the eccentricity, and found a man who was deeply isolated, deeply lonely, and in many ways still a wounded child. Much like her father had been. What is undeniably fascinating, and what the vault must acknowledge, is the psychological dimension of this union. Michael Jackson had grown up idolizing Elvis Presley. He famously said, "Elvis was the greatest entertainer who ever lived." He collected Elvis's memorabilia. He had studied Elvis's career exhaustively. Was marrying Lisa Marie a way of completing a circle? Of claiming the mantle of the king through matrimony? Or was it simpler than that? Was it two people, each living in an incomprehensible fishbowl of fame, finding in each other the only form of understanding that the world could not offer a mirror? The marriage lasted 20 months. They divorced in August 1996. Lisa Marie Presley later said the dissolution was, in large part, due to Michael's refusal to stop using prescription drugs, a haunting echo of the same battle that had claimed her father. Dynasty merged. Dynasty divided. Two kings. One heartbreak. There is a pattern that emerges when you study the final chapters of both kings' lives. A pattern of withdrawal. Of fortress building, of surrounding oneself with walls literal and metaphorical against a world that had grown too loud, too intrusive, and too demanding. Elvis purchased Graceland in 1957, just 3 years into his stardom, for $102,500. What began as a family home gradually became something else, a sanctuary from the outside world. By the mid-1970s, Elvis rarely left its grounds. He slept during the day and roamed the mansion at night. He surrounded himself with a tight inner circle known as the Memphis Mafia, who insulated him from reality, who rarely said no, and who watched helplessly as their king slowly deteriorated. 23 years later, Michael Jackson constructed his own fortress of solitude. He named it Neverland, a direct reference to J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan. A boy who never grew up. A place where the rules of the adult world did not apply. He built a private amusement park, a zoo, a train. He invited sick children to visit, wanting to give them joy that he himself had never experienced. But Neverland also became a prison. After the 2005 criminal trial in which Michael was acquitted on all charges, he never returned to the ranch. He left it behind, along with everything it represented. The most chilling parallel isn't the mansions themselves. It's what happened inside them. Both men turned to prescription medication not to get high, but simply to sleep. To quiet minds that never stopped working. To shut out the noise of a fame so overwhelming it had become physically and psychologically unbearable. Elvis Presley died on August 16, 1977, at Graceland, at the age of 42. The cause was cardiac arrhythmia, exacerbated by chronic polypharmacy, the combination of numerous prescription drugs. Michael Jackson died on June 25, 2009, in Los Angeles, at the age of 50. The cause was acute propofol and benzodiazepine intoxication administered by his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, who was later convicted of involuntary manslaughter. Two kings. 32 years apart. Same battle. Same ending. Here is what separates legends from celebrities. Celebrities are relevant while they are alive. Legends grow larger after they are gone. Elvis Presley died in 1977. Since then, his estate has earned more than $1 billion. Graceland welcomes over 500,000 visitors each year, making it the second most visited private residence in the United States, second only to the White House. Michael Jackson's estate earned an estimated $825 million in the 12 months following his death in 2009, the most lucrative year for any deceased artist in history. His 2009 documentary concert film This Is It became the highest-grossing documentary of all time. Their influence doesn't merely persist. It accelerates. Every generation of musicians that emerges discovers Elvis and Michael Jackson anew and is shaken by them anew. Because great art doesn't age. It marinates. It deepens. It becomes more resonant the further we move from its creation. Both men were imperfect. Both were complicated. Both faced accusations, controversies, and personal struggles that the world will never stop debating. But the vault of history doesn't deal in perfection. It deals in truth. And the truth is this: without Elvis Presley, there is no rock and roll. Without Michael Jackson, there is no modern pop. Without either of them, the world sounds profoundly, irreversibly different. Before we close the vault today, I have two burning questions for you, the Legend Vault family. Question 1. If you had to pick one, just one, who truly changed the world more? Was it the raw, untamed energy of Elvis Presley, who ripped open the cultural fault lines of 1950s America? Or was it the technical, breathtaking genius of Michael Jackson, who redefined what a human body could do on a stage? Drop your answer in the comments, Elvis or Michael, and tell me why. I want to read every single one. Question 2. The marriage between Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley. Was it genuine love, two lonely souls finding each other in the eye of the storm? Or was it a calculated dynasty merger, the king of pop claiming the royal bloodline of the king of rock and roll? Comment, genuine love or strategic move, and I will be hearting the most insightful theories personally. The stage lights have faded, but their legends remain locked in time. Thank you for joining me in the vault today. Until next time, stay legendary. This is Frank, signing off.